right, now we're going to look at, is this a long-term impact or a short-term? So short-term, by tomorrow, everybody's going to forget about this whole deal. Long-term, you're going to have some dramatic, ongoing things going on with it. All right, so advantages of spanking as a quick fix. Is that long-term or short-term advantage?
Short-term.
The advantage of using pain to motivate your kids to do what you want.
Be long. I would say long term. Yeah, long term.
Disadvantages, it creates resentment in the child.
Long term.
And possible psychological effects,
Long
wondering
term.
for the child. Okay. On timeout, that is non-violent, is that a long-term advantage or short-term?
Short.
Long.
Probably long because
Long.
if it's always
Non-violent.
it will always be non-violent.
Just like quick fixes.
It's new with the majority.
Okay, we'll go long-term on this one. That it gives the child, the parent, gives the parent a break from that child acting out.
Short term.
Short-term, just for the moment or for the afternoon, whatever. Okay. Disadvantages, doesn't work. Is that a long-term or short-term? It says short. Do you guys
Because
agree?
you're just giving time out. So it has to work at different times. Every time you give it, because you're supposed to give the same time out every time. So it might not work the first time, but it could work the second time. It could work the third time.
Okay. So you're saying short-term. Do you agree with that? Where he's coming from on that?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Takes time for it to affect.
Long term.
Okay, good work. So what do you notice about the advantages and disadvantages of spanking a timeout by the work that you did up here? What conclusions can you come to?
The disadvantages mostly affect the child, and the advantages mostly affect the parent when you're looking at the board.
Spanking is more of long term than with a timeout. It's about 50-50.
On the disadvantages?
Just
All the way around.
yeah.
Okay, yeah. Okay. So there's some long-term impact with the spanking and some shorter-term things. So if we could eliminate some of these disadvantages of saying, if we could practice and figure out how to use the skill, make it a tool that would work, and you could figure out some time for it to would work. Would you be interested in that?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Is that something you're open to? Something you haven't tried before to look at?
Yes.
Good. All right. Well, we're going to look at that next and see what we come up with using some tools, because you're absolutely right. Sometimes timeout is not appropriate for all settings. It does not work for all settings and for all kids either. So you kind of have to know your family and how to use the tools for them to be appropriate, because we have tools in our toolbox. Doesn't mean we know how to use them, right? So we now have to know how to use the tools that are in our toolbox for them to be effective. So that's what we're going to be practicing today. If we're going to use timeout, how do we use it right or not use it at all?